I've always been a huge nerd, but I credit that to one of my very first teachers. She was my preschool teacher, and she saw something in me, this propensity and love for learning, and took the time to foster that. So for me, from my family as well to this teacher, school, learning, education was always presented to me as discovery, as joy, as what can you figure out about the world?
Curiosity.
What can you learn? How can you expand what it is that you know? It was never a chore. It was never something negative. It was never, presented as work in a sense. And so that's how I've always approached learning. And I was allowed to go at my own pace and did a lot of online and correspondence programs that allowed me to do that while still going to the school for art and music and recess and lunch and all the fun things. And it was the perfect storm for me because I got the best of both worlds and accidentally graduated high school at 14.
That is amazing. I love hearing that because I think so many of us have had experiences of school where it was the other two extremes of like boredom, chores, who cares?
Right.
Or in my case, it was very much like performance. Getting top grades and like doing well in exams, which also doesn't leave a good impression for kids because it becomes about pressure and pain, and you're now just trying to catch up with this metric just to show your parents or compare yourself to someone else. So what's your message today to the children on stage? Are you putting that in there? Are they going to hear that?
I'm trying to as much as I can. The topic that I'm discussing is about something a little bit different, but I always try and talk about education because I feel as though so many kids, especially today, either take education for granted or don't see it as something that can be joyful.
Yes.
And it's not to say that there are going to be assignments or classes or things that are going to be really difficult and not going to be any fun at all. But for me, I don't know, maybe it's because I'm a stubborn optimist, but it's all about finding the fun in them. It's, you have to Mary Poppins it a little bit and figure out how to make it fun and how to make it something that you can enjoy because you have to do it either way.
Yeah, no, I love that. There's a study that was done at Yale. I get the scientist's second name wrong, so I don't want to say it. Her first name's Amy. And in my book, I talk about how she talks about how they did a study where they interviewed nurses and cleaners and all these people that work as part of a hospital staff. And they spoke to cleaners and they asked them, describe your job. And half the cleaners described it as low-skilled, dirty, a chore, hard, very difficult. And the other half described it completely differently. They used words like healers, transformers, like they felt that they were a part of humans' emotion and they felt that they were building up these relationships with patients. And so it's a term that Yale crafted called job crafting. And it's like how you view that is what it becomes. And so some of these people felt that their work was so highly skilled and so fulfilling and so meaningful.
It's funny, if there's anything I've learned in kind of becoming an adult is that life is all about perspective. Every morning when you wake up, you can choose to have a great day or to have a terrible day, no matter what happens. It's all about how you view it and how you look at the world. And it really is a series of choices.